here we go. This is the Wednesday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I am meteorologist Matthew East, back in the saddle here, February the 9th. And another storm system pulling on into the region, and this is going to be, I think for most of our region, a fairly low impact event. I'll show you some accumulation ideas coming up here in just a moment. This is the radar image this morning, and most of what you see back there off to the west is snow, the exception being when you get Dallas, Fort Worth, and points south. Still some rain there. But this is snow, and heavy snow at that, through a good chunk of Oklahoma into northwestern Arkansas. And here's the watch, warning, advisory situation. All these kind of peach shaded counties, those are all winter storm warnings. Pretty much all of Oklahoma, most of Arkansas, into North Mississippi, and into the Tennessee Valley of Alabama. Also the coastal plain of North Carolina in a winter storm warning. Counties surrounding that area in a winter storm watch. Temperatures, really, really cold stuff in the Rockies and the plains and up into Canada. But some changes are in the offing. I'll get into that coming up in the video here in just a moment. This is the day one probabilities of greater than 4 inches of snow. That's to be today through tonight. And, of course, the highest probabilities is where that snow is really heavy, back off to the west. And then there's that strip of possibilities there through eastern North Carolina. The culprit here is an upper-level disturbance that's centered in the southern plains. And the upper air pattern is not favorable for this to be able to amplify as it progresses eastward. So it's kind of in a dampening phase as it moves eastward. Let me step you through the NAM, and then I'll do the GFS. This is the NAM. This afternoon's precip, snow really cranking through north Louisiana, southern and central Arkansas, spreading into Mississippi. From there, the snow spreads through central and northern Mississippi, begins to spread into Alabama, much of Tennessee, into central and maybe central and northern Georgia, rather. But notice you get into the I-85 corridor, South Carolina, North Carolina, and the precip kind of skips over into the coastal plain as the energy transfers to the coast. Now here's the GFS. This is a precip right here from 1 to 7 p.m., the snow advancing eastward. And 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., there is 1 a.m. to 7 a.m.'s precip. And then the system pulls out to sea thereafter tomorrow. This is what the in-house WRF, the Stormcast modeling, basically puts out in terms of snow accumulation. The lighter shade of blue, that's the 2-inch area. The deeper shade of blue you see there, that's over 4 inches. And then the really deep shade of blue, that's over 6 inches with a bullseye of 8 inches or so in parts of northern Arkansas. Here's a general idea I'm going with for possibility of accumulation. And for much of the region, we're talking a dusting to an inch of the upper end for most of us, including Charlotte, Triad areas, Columbia, much of northeast Georgia as well, the upstate. This is at most a dusting to an inch type of deal, it looks like. But you get off into Alabama and Mississippi, that the totals ramp up, especially back into Mississippi and Arkansas, and then in the coastal plain of North Carolina. That is where you could see maybe some areas picking up 2, 3, maybe a localized 4-inch plus amount in a couple spots there in the coastal plain of North Carolina. Most of the snow for the Carolinas is going to be tonight, exiting. It'll be gone by daybreak probably for I-85, and then it's pretty soon thereafter as you go east. Let's go down the line here. This is Friday. And notice the low pressure trying to pop off the coast. So this could be another one of those deals where maybe some snow is brought to the immediate coast with this if the low-level temperatures cooperate later Friday. So we'll see how that unfolds as well. Saturday was kind of cool and quiet, but probably up to the low 50s for a lot of our highs Saturday. And then I think we're up into the low 60s on Sunday. This is a pretty stiff westerly flow. That just screams a pretty mild day with that downsloping off the mountains. So probably low 60s. And maybe warmer in some spots on Sunday. Now, next week is a little tricky. We're certainly heading into a milder pattern, but here's Monday, there's Tuesday, and there's another little push of some cooler air trying to push in from the north. So I don't think it's just all of a sudden we switch and we're to warm air. There's going to be some areas of cooler temperatures try to drop in early next week before we just transition later on next week to the warmer pattern. This is the day 8 to 10 mean. European on the left, GFS on the right, pretty much a zonal flow, some mild ridging of the central part of the United States. And here's the P&A. And remember, negative PNA generally correlates to troughing close to the Pacific coast. And with that PNA heading strongly into the negative category, which of course that's where it was during our cold December. However, we had a very strong negative AO and NAO at the same time as well. So those features kind of overwhelmed the Pacific signal. This time around, the AO and the Arctic Oscillation, the North Atlantic Oscillation, they are hanging around the positive category. You factor that in with the negative phase of the PNA, and that spells a warm pattern for a while. Now, how long will it last? I don't know just yet, but at least later next week, and probably into at least early the week thereafter, it looks like a milder pattern. And we'll see if we're going to trend back to colder weather here before the end of the month. I get a feeling that we probably will try to at some point, but we'll see. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day here on this Wednesday, and God bless.